Hey everybody, Josh here for another episode of the vlog. Today I talk about number one, why I missed the vlog last week, what I was busy doing, what kept me busy last week, which was quite exciting and tiring. And then number two, I dive into a specific example of how I used AI this week. In one case, I use it almost every day, but how I used it in one case to save at least 40 minutes of time working on a legal file. That will hopefully be helpful because I explain it, including reading out the entire prompt that I use, and hopefully inspire you with ways that how you can use it as well. Let's jump right in. Hey folks, Josh here for another episode of the vlog. First of all, I have to apologize. I missed last week. I am so sorry. So today I'm going to cover two things. Number one, why the heck I missed last week. And number two, what's been going on this week, what's kept me busy, and a story about how I've used AI to save a lot of time on one file in particular, and for one task in particular that I'll break down, which will hopefully give you some inspiration and ideas as well, especially if you're a legal professional like myself. So anyways, last week, I was not only out of town, I was not only in court twice, but I was also preparing documents for my two court appearances this week, right? So I've touched on this before, so I won't belabor the point. But when you're going to court in the real world, not in Hollywood, you typically have to prepare and submit your materials ahead of time, right? Usually anywhere from 4 to 6 to 7 days, depending on the type of appearance, depending on whether it's trial or not, et cetera, et cetera. So the reason why last week was so crazy was because not only did I have two court appearances, but this past week I had another two court appearances. So I was preparing for and attending court while also preparing, submitting, and filing for two additional court appearances the next week. Suffice to say, it was crazy. Plus, I was also in Ottawa with my family. So anyways, that's my big apology. Hopefully it's a good enough excuse. I was so tired. I had no energy to do the vlog anyways. So take that as my apology. And we're back in action. And this is a side lesson I've learned, by the way. If you really want to grow a following on social media, it's about consistency, but it's also about realizing that we're not perfect. We're humans. Things happen. It's okay to miss one or two here and there. What's most important is just because you miss one, get back on the horse the next day or the next week, right? Whatever your cadence is. So don't let that one or two odd misses because things got crazy become it. Anyways, hopefully that's helpful. Now, number two, let's get back to the key topic of this vlog, which is my story, my last week in business as a Canadian family lawyer, as a tech co-founder, all that kind of stuff. And I had one really fun use case of AI this week that I wanted to talk about. Really quickly first, I'm just looking at my calendar if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening, then you can ignore this. But if you're watching on YouTube, I'm looking to the side because I always keep my calendar up on my second screen. And we had another busy week, right? Two court appearances. I presented to the Alberta CBA Immigration Organization about AI. I presented to a Seneca, I believe it was a Seneca Immigration Case Management course on technology and AI. So had a lot of good stuff this week. But then I had a really good use case and I think win for a file with regards to just leveraging AI. And I just wanted to tell a quick story. So here's the backdrop. Number one, it's a classic kind of like family law file where I'm representing the mother, there's somebody representing the father, and their court case, I guess we should say, finished about 6 years ago. And this happens quite often where like you'll go through a separation or divorce or both, and you'll sign a separation agreement or you'll get a court order, and then many years go by. And it might be 2 years, it might be 5 years. In this case, it was about 6 years go by, and now the parents start fighting again because things have changed, the child's a little older, maybe one of the parents wants to move, they have new partners, you know what I mean? Things change. It's very normal to get cases like that. And we had a situation where there were two different court orders still in effect from before 2020, and there's now a lot of conflict boiling up. The parties lawyer up, they start arguing, etc., and we want to fix the situation, hopefully without having to go back to court. And so what we had to do was basically prepare a list. And obviously, I'm not going to go into too much detail here for obvious reasons, but to prepare a list of, number one, what are new things that we want to, so basically the plan is, hey, let's create a revised separation agreement to continue to move things forward. maybe reinforce some of the old stuff, maybe change some of the old stuff, and maybe add some new stuff so that the parents and the child can continue to have a healthy relationship for everybody's best interests. So we had to compile a list of all the stuff from the other two orders that we didn't like, that maybe we want removed, maybe that we wanted to change, and then new stuff as well. And so this included, number one, a call with my client where I was taking notes, and number two, an email where she sent a relatively long, not that long, but like a somewhat long list of going through the other two orders, court orders, and explaining what she liked, what she didn't like, what she wanted changed. And what this resulted in was a lot of text, probably about 2 full pages, if we're talking about Word documents here, probably about 2 full pages of bullet point text of different terms and clauses that you wanted added or changed or removed. And the problem was for me as well, part of the notes I had taken were now redundant with some of the changes that she wanted when she was referring to the old orders. So here's what I did. This probably saved me at least 30 to 40 minutes of time. And I know that doesn't sound like too much, but if you can have 1 or 2 or 3 of these small wins using AI per week, now you're unlocking an extra few hours where you can do a lot of extra stuff, right? So what I did was, number one, and this is always step one, is wash the data. What do I mean by wash the data? Remove personal information. So I took out last names, I took out dates of birth. I mean, there wasn't actually much personal information in these to begin with, which made it easy. But take out last names, take out birth dates, take out addresses, right? Take out any personal identifying information. I do that, right? With a lot of tech and AI, especially on paid plans these days, you're actually mostly protected, but I still prefer to go above and beyond to make sure that I'm, not in any gray area. So I took out last names, took out dates of birth, there really wasn't much, which made it easy. So that's number one, wash the data. Number two is prepare your prompt, AKA your instructions, right? So my prompt, actually I can pull it up. I should have pulled it up ahead of time if I was prepared, but hey, sometimes I'm not prepared for these vlogs. So I prepared a prompt and I said, below are notes from a client of mine with terms she would like in a new separation agreement. The notes include some general ideas, some changes to a 2018 order, and some changes to a 2019 order. There is overlap between some of these changes. Can you please take the below, summarize it into a list of changes, removing any overlap, and where applicable, mention which order and paragraph in said order it applies to. Please also organize in a better fashion, and any mention of the child should be changed to X, because in some sentences I'd refer to it as the child or her as the child, and in some sentences I named the child. So I just wanted to be consistent. And again, just first name, no last name. And then I just copy and pasted my notes, which was again like 2 pages worth of bullet points, and I washed the data. And what it spit out in about 2.85 seconds is a table with a super organized category, requested change, and what it applies to. So is it a brand new term? Does it apply to the 2018 order or does it apply to the 2019 order? And then step number 3, obviously, is I reviewed it twice. So not only did I review it for content, but I also reviewed it by cross-checking the output with my notes, just to make sure that it didn't make any random stuff up that wasn't in my notes, right? And those are, if I can kind of summarize, those are really the 3 key steps, especially as a legal professional, right? So number 1, well, I guess number 0.0 is like recognize if this is a good opportunity to use AI. Number 2, wash your data. Number 3, come up with a really good prompt and instructions. And number 4, review, in my opinion, at least twice the output, and then, make any changes that are required. I had to make a couple changes, but not many. Like I'm talking like 2 or 3 changes, and then obviously reformat it and send it over to my client for review. So anyways, what are the takeaways from this? Number 1, AI can be a really good time saver if you're doing it properly. Number 2, always wash your data, always review output from AI. That should be a given at this point. You don't want to be the next legal professional mentioned in a court case or a news article. And number three, if we think about the outcomes from this, it's such a win-win-win because number one, I save time. Like this probably would have taken me at least, in my opinion, probably at least 45-ish minutes to do. So number one, it saves me time doing, quite honestly, semi-boring, not that exciting work. So I can now go spend time on more exciting stuff, including moving the file forward. Number two, client saves money because for files like this, we're billing hourly. So my client actually saves potentially a couple $100 just from this one thing. Number three, we can move the file forward, which means we can get through this faster and send it back to opposing counsel faster and move the file forward quicker. So it's a win-win-win. It's a win for me. I can spend more of my time doing the legal work I actually enjoy. It's a win for my client because they probably get even better output and are saving money, which they're going to be happy about. And number three is, for the sake of the file, it allows us to get back to the other party faster, move the file forward, etc., etc. So anyways, I just wanted to highlight this because I think I'm still talking to so many lawyers and other legal professionals every week about AI. And I think part of the problem is so many people think it's like this magical, huge, crazy thing and you have to do all this crazy stuff. Sometimes just a really good prompt in one narrow situation like this can save you 45 minutes or even 20 minutes or even 15 minutes. And if you can save 15, 20 minutes on Thursday morning and Tuesday afternoon and Monday around lunch and Friday, all of a sudden that's like 2, 3, 4 hours. It adds up of saved time, right? Both for you, for your firm, for your client, for whoever it might be. So I'm hoping that stories like this and examples like this, number one, teach you a little bit more about AI and how I'm using it. And number two, give you some inspiration for other situations that you might be able to apply to in your case. So anyways, thanks for tuning in. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're listening on the podcast, make sure you're subscribed. If you can give a 5-star review, it really does help promote the podcast. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like the video, make sure you're subscribed so that you never miss one in the future. And either way, make sure you're on my Substack. So either way, check the description for this episode. You'll find a link to my Substack. Because every week, as well as doing this vlog, I send out 2 to 3 Substack posts with updates from my week in business, as a lawyer, as a tech co-founder, sharing more AI insights, stuff like this that I don't always cover on this vlog. So thanks again for checking it out. See you in the next one. Take care.